What's up everyone, Springer coming at you today from DCUO. Today I'll be showing you part 1 of the hero leveling quest line. Let's get started. So I rolled up a separate account since this game is free to play. And I have Curse Plays Heroic, because for some reason Hero was blocked in name creator. So this is right here, what I'm going through is the tutorial. Every player or every character you roll must go through the tutorial. Right now I am playing a Fire Super Speedster. Now today I'll only be showing you the first part of the quest line. Make sure you turn into the next part if you've already seen this video. So one of the reasons I really like DCO, and I've played it for 4 years, is the combat system it has. You'll notice my tray right now is pretty much empty. There's no powers in it or anything. That's because the attack system in DCO requires simple mouse clicks. This is left clicking and this is right clicking for my ranged. Eventually, when you get more skill points from completing feats in game, you unlock more. You can put those skill points into more attacks you can do. Right now I just have a basic lunge and swipe, or a charge throw and a little weapon slash. Right now I'm going to be fighting a Brainiac Overseer. The story of the game up until about maybe tier 3, which is a tier of armor, Brainiac has taken over the DC universe. In this main universe, when you reach level 30, you start getting into the Batcave series raids, and you go in and you're either fighting his drones, or eventually you fight a avatar of Tech, which is a construct of himself. When you reach T3 anyway, you fight Brainiac himself, and that unlocks pretty much when the game reaches more storylines. Oh, I got my first PowerPoint. I think I want to put it into an immolation. Now, aside from powers, aside from weapon attacks, I can hit powers, which hit much harder. Now, there's two really weapon style points you can spec into game. There's precision and there's might. Precision affects the weapon attacks you see that I'm doing now, the mouse clicks. Might affects the powers, like what you just saw there. Fire is mainly a might-based power set. There's no real precision to be used except for when you use your weapon attacks.
There's a high security nexus up ahead. Get through and use the transport tube.
What you see over there is a treasure chest. There should be one in almost every instance you go through a game. When you bust it, you get these items you can equip. And see how it says Fourth World Not Collected? You can go into your Style tab, and you can actually choose what kind of costume you want. That's what I really love about this game. Though its costume customization isn't as heavy as it was in City of Heroes, it's still by far an amazing system, and you can do a lot with it. If you play the game, I'm sure a lot of you will notice you see Marvel characters running around, or Marvel lookalikes. There's a lot of, because they're mainly bodysuits and tights over there in Marvel, you can do a lot with the slimline they give you in game. almost through the tutorial. Got maybe 2 or 3 more rooms before you reach the last boss.
Brainiac has a full invasion force stored on this ship. We have to destroy it.
You might have noticed I've gotten stunned there. This game also utilizes block like it does with its melee mechanics. If you get stunned, you have to use shift, or if you macro it to another key to break out. Now here's more of the in-game weapon mechanics. This dude is called a lunger. If a other player lunges at you in PvP and you block, that happens to them. They suffer a, I guess you would call it a penalty for hitting me on that. And if they do a channel attack like these guys are, you can lunge and they suffer a penalty for that. And at the same time, you can suffer those certain penalties if you lunge or attack or block while they're doing the respected attacks. This guy is blocking, so I'll use my block breaker. Each weapon varies when using their block breaker, so not all weapons will be the same. Dual wield is currently a single tap block breaker. Rifles like that, a lot of them are holds though. So block, lunge, block breaker. And another skill point. With that, I can put it into another weapon attack. I think I'll go with, let's go with that one.
Damage to this vessel continues to mount. Destroy the escapee immediately.
Now, until I reach level 10, right now all I'll be doing is DPS mode. Like any other MMO, they have their classes. DCUO has 4. They have their basic DPS, which every power set utilizes. They have tank, which if you have no DLCs and just playing the basic game, it's fire and ice. And then controller role, which in other MMOs I'm sure is the same. You give power back to the group. Basic game without DLCs will give you mental and gadgets. Alright, here we go, another overseer. You see how I'm able to combo that weapon attack now since I have the skill point? That extra little swipe. He decided to run. Alright. Got a belt from him. The tutorial will give each of your characters the same 4th world set when you're finished with it. Alright, here's the last boss.
You're in the Nexus. Destroy anything connecting the gun to the ship.
Now, most players, if they know what they're doing and they're not like their first time, they know that you can get 3 feats, actually 5 feats within this whole tutorial, but I figure I'll make it quick for everyone so they can see what the actual game looks like. The 5 feats you can get are you break 5 healing barrels. I just got one of them now. There's 25 count on your hit meter. There's a 50 count and a 100 count on your healing meter. And then along with breaking 5 healing barrels, you can break 5 explosion barrels, which basically are like healing barrels, except when you smash them, you do damage. Alright, boss time. There's a red barrel now I can show you. Sweet. Killed him before he could put off his attack.
Superman, get ready. I'm bringing you in.
Right, now just like clear a wave of ads and the game begins.
Think again, Brainiac. You can't take out the both of us. We're not leaving until we shut this shit off.
This is the part where you usually go for the 100 hit meter feet.
Almost there. Keep fighting. The network doesn't want to let me in.
Harvester ship VII-O has been compromised. Deploy my remaining forces to Earth. The ship has been compromised.
That right there was a healing barrel I just busted. Alright, and that's it. Tutorial complete.
Nice work. Brainiac wasn't counting on you breaking free and disabling his ship. Now use the teleporter and get yourself back to the city. We've got work to do.
Yes, it's done.
And then usually whenever you complete an instance, they play a cutscene like this.
Brainiac, a nightmare from my past, here to ravage Earth. Our shared might unable to stop him. But now we have a chance. Mutants with powers saved from a doomed future. Heroes able to take on all threats. I know today's Lex Luthor. Even the warnings of his own future self cannot stop his mad vendetta. I am Superman. I stand for truth, for justice, and for the future.
So basically that just sums up the premise of the game. What happens is in the future, Lex Luthor finally succeeds in killing Superman and most of the other heroes. But at the same time, once Superman dies, Brainiac immediately pops up and starts taking over the world, bottling cities and buildings, and pretty much screws everything up. Lex finds a way to travel to the past to warn the Justice League, which is in this game the main characters are Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. He also brings back the power of the exobytes, which are how in the game the premise of how we get our powers. Each player selects their exobyte at character creation and then fights out the Brainiac ship and enjoys the leveling process. Now that I'm out, I can show you the first quest line. The first one is Gorilla Grodd and the Flash.
Using some kind of tech even Starlights hasn't seen before.
I'm asking you to help
We've
us
got to
with
get
the
in there
situation here
and
in
stop them
Metropolis.
Welcome to Metropolis. Now, depending on what mentor you take, the beginning quest line differs. Because I chose Superman, I'm fighting Gorilla Grodd. I believe Wonder Woman fights Felix Faust, and Batman fights, I don't remember. Oh, Batman, you fight Scarecrow in the sewers of Gotham. The UI is fairly simple to follow. You'll see your quest target on the right hand of your screen, and as you see, I'm killing gorillas. My count's going up. Immolation doesn't seem to be working for some reason. And level 4. Now, the level cap is 30. I don't think that's ever going to change. But, once you hit 30, you get a new type of level cap. And with each DLC, it kind of raises it. What I'm talking about is CR. Right now, if you open up your inventory, you have 4 little tabs. You have your basic bag, your inventory. You have your currency. You have base items, which you unlock at level 10, I believe. And you have stats. Here you'll see what I was talking about earlier with might, and CR doesn't really show up until your level 30. Alright, and each quest you complete will either give you some type of armor upgrade, or towards the end of the quest line with most quests you'll get a new weapon.
Brainiac weren't that enough.
What I'm going to find now is a side quest.
So
Almost every one of these battle zones around Metropolis has a side quest tied to it.
spots in the city.
This one wants me to destroy fuel cells and stop Gorilla Garage from teleporting in more gorillas.
Groups are trapping civilians with Grodd's devolution devices. Destroy the devices and weaken Grodd's forces.
Now, aside from killing gorillas, you might notice these little lightning bolts above the items, or certain items. If you see that, most likely you have to destroy them. These are the devolution units I have to destroy. And those red barrels are the fuel cells.
Protect the fuel. It is needed on the front. Protect the fuel cells. Do not let them destroy the fuel.
Now, the premise of Gorilla Grodd is he's basically an ape from, I want to say he's just a normal ape, but from some future from another Galaxy or something. You can correct me if I'm wrong if you're a comic book aficionado. But he basically gets this hyper intense intellect from some alien machinery, and with that, he gets this ultra mind and wants to turn everyone into an ape because though he has this hyper intelligent intellect and whatnot, he thinks that humans are flawed, and sure, they are. And what he's doing now is with those devolver units, you'll see these little humans going crazy. He's turning them into apes. And with that, he gets more apes for his army. And the main hero that always tries to stop him in this game is the Flash. Now, usually by now I'd encounter some person on the opposite faction flying around these low levels battle zones trying to gank us. I won't experience that because I'm leveling in the PvE phase. You can choose PvE zones or PvP zones, which is player versus person, and that's when you can attack any hero or villain you want. PvE, you share the same zones with your villains, but they're, instead of red and attackable, they're purple. They're kind of just neutral, I guess. And you can't attack them unless they flag for PvP. I, myself, at level 4, will not do that, because that's just idiotic. Although, it would create some fun. Maybe when I level my villain, I'll put him in the PvP zone. And now you see another hero right there. Looks like he's using light powers. Those are a controller power attainable through the Fight for the Light DLC. Oh, I got blasted. Now right now I'm in a small off section of the main metropolis. I'm in Little Bohemia. If you look across the water, you'll see Midtown, Suicide Slums, the Docks, Historic District, all the way down to downtown. Metropolis is fairly big. Along with Metropolis, of course, there is Gotham City, where most of the tech-mentored villains start out at. Each city is accessible through the nightclub teleporters, or the Hall of Doom or Watchtower. Depending on what faction you choose, that makes up which headquarters you get at the beginning. If you're heroes, of course, you get Watchtower, and villains, if you're smart and cool, get the Hall of Doom. Right now in the game, the heroes have a large faction compared to the villains, but at the same time, a lot of little kids play hero side, and more of the adults play villains, which I prefer because we know how to get stuff done on the villain side. Alright, looks like that's it. No, it's not. I need to kill this guy.
Guerrilla troops are trapping civilians with Grodd's devolution devices. Destroy the devices and weaken Grodd's forces.
Level 5! 25 to go. And I earn another skill point. You're always going to want to put your skill points in when you get them. Mainly because it just makes the game so much easier for you. So, unlike the last quest, it gave me these gloves. I got these boots. So I have a power I can put in as well. Put in Stunning Swipe for my skill point. And I'll put
Now that Grodd's main forces weaken
Meteor in for
citizens,
my PowerPoint.
Grodd has lunar arrays clustered on rooftops nearby to reinforce his devolution devices. Take those out, and you can create a device to reverse the devolution effect. Flash is going after Grodd in his hideout. This should be over soon.
I fell. That's one of the downsides about super speed. Right now there's three main movement modes in game. You have your acrobatics, you have your super speed, and you have your flight. Flight is you can hover in the air wherever the hell you want. There's no fly limits except for the boundaries of the world. Acrobat, you can do the same thing except you can't constantly float in the air. You're always moving. You can run on the ground, and if you put the skill points in, you get these grapple lines you can use. And then super speed, you have like a jump pretty much you can use if you want to use some type of flight travel, and it's not already flight, it's jump. And it's, in my opinion, the fastest because it's super speed, and if you have the jump, which is called inertial flywheel, and use it when you're running, it gets you around the fastest. Acrobat can mainly keep up with it if you constantly go up and down with it. I'll show you guys what that's like with my villain. And flight, I don't think I need to explain that. Sadly, it's the slowest if you're in a race with acrobat and super speed that know about those little tricks. Alright, and that takes care of this area.
Until that device loses power, you can free people from Grodd's devolution effects. Help citizens and get that tech off the streets.
So until I hit level 9, this is basically the movement speed for super speed. This game has a lot of interactions with items like this. Usually when you see something like that, either means you carry it or you click it. This is why I like playing Valentine as well. You don't need a quest to beat up on civilians. You can just go around and knock them off buildings. Alright, on to the next area. After this, I believe I go into the instance and fight Grodd. Right. Just need to kill 5 more of these gorilla citizens and click their little re-evolver units now. Looks like I have another hero over here helping me out with it. Whether he knows he's helping me or not. So let's go over here. I really like Meteor compared to Immolation because it has a very large AoE. Alright, 2 more gorillas and I'm done. Alright, that's it. Now, I fight Gorilla Grodd. You have to excuse my dog whining in the background. And then at the end, like I said, of most quests, you get new weapons.
He's always beaten Grodd before. Grodd is definitely out to
Change up my
revenge.
look just this once. You can go in and customize the individual styles and whatnot of each item. This is the biomesh I've been getting. Alright. Here we go. You'll see these after you complete quests and whatnot. These are instances you can repeatedly go back into and farm up epic gear, epic loot, depending if it drops one. This instance I don't believe drops any epics.
Security breach confirmed. Eliminate the metahuman. Security breach confirmed.
This instance is fairly fast as well. Now, I'm going to attempt the 2 feats that you can get while you're in here. The first one is fairly easy to get, as long as I don't drink any of these colas in my number 6 socket on my bar. The other one is I get if I do not die while I'm in here. easy to do as you're going through, but when you reach Grodd, it becomes a bit of a challenge at level 5. If you don't get it your first shot in here, you can always come back at any level and reattempt it. Getting feats is a great way to get skill points and make the game easier for yourself.
Detecting prisoners escaping. Sending reinforcements. Don't let the hairless apes get away.
You gotta click this thing before any more gorillas pop out. I'll free all these citizens. Now, if you play the hero side later on in game, you'll actually get this instance again as a, I believe it's duo. That's when you queue up with another person, and it's a level 30 version, and you get to fight Zoom before you fight Zod in here. And we're almost there.
Quick, get me out of here before Grodd sees you. Use that control over there. Watch it. He's devolving those prisoners.
Ignorant, vainglorious fools. You know nothing. Primitive scum. Tremble before Grodd.
They do a lot of great jobs with the cutscenes like this, and they kind of make you feel like your character's part of it instead of him just standing there watching the hero. And there he is. Grodd. Compared to the other villains in game, he's not that important, but he's a formidable foe. And he's shielded. If you notice, the powers on my tray are blanked out because I'm out of power. I could use a cola to shrink or get more power, but rather get the feat. And he's dead. Got biomass shoulders and a soda hat. Normally you wouldn't get that, but due to there's a seasonal event in play, certain items will drop through certain instances. That's hilarious. It's like a little beer hat. I'm gonna wear that.
I'm going to run to Gorilla City and check with Solomon.
And that's it. First quest line of the hero side complete.
Humanity's evolution was a mistake. My own was destiny. I will reclaim this earth from all who stand in my way. Surrender a world that by rights belongs to me.
What's nice is each of these cutscenes kind of gives the background on the hero or villain you fight. A lot better than I just did. It's like an animated comic book, which is really cool. And there's the feat. After you get 100 points worth of feats, and it's fairly easy, you get a skill point. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. If you like what you see, go ahead and install the game through the link I provided in the comment box. And if you enjoy my videos and want to watch more, please leave a like and subscribe. See you guys for the next quest line.